Have you noticed that as you get older, you don't feel the urge to visit people as much as you used to? Those gatherings that once brought joy now sometimes feel like something you hesitate to commit to. It's not because you don't care. It's because there are very real reasons why things have changed. The truth is, after 70, your energy, relationships, and the way you value time are no longer the same. Visiting someone isn't as simple as it once was. Sometimes it feels more like a burden than a pleasure. And you're not the only one feeling this way. In this video, I'll share 6 reasons why many older adults stop making visits and why that's perfectly normal. Watch now to understand why you don't have to feel guilty about it. Before we begin, if you're committed to living a healthier, more fulfilling life, hit the like button to help spread this valuable knowledge. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to click subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. And if you're enjoying this content, comment 1 below to let me know you're here. If not, comment 0, and I'll work harder to bring you even better content. Let's dive in now. Reason 1. Prioritizing energy for meaningful interactions. One of the first things you realize as you get older is that your energy is no longer unlimited. Things that once felt effortless, like driving to visit friends, chatting for hours, or attending social gatherings, now seem to drain you faster. It's not that you don't want to see people anymore, it's just that you have to be more selective about how you spend your energy. When we were younger, we often chased wide social circles, made an effort to keep in touch with everyone, and attended every event so we wouldn't miss out. But after 70, one truth becomes crystal clear: quality matters more than quantity. You start prioritizing the people who truly matter, the ones who bring joy, understanding, and a sense of peace when you're with them. Casual acquaintances and obligatory social events begin to lose their appeal. Think about the last time you attended a gathering simply because you felt you had to. Did you come home feeling fulfilled? Or did you feel exhausted, sitting through conversations that didn't interest you, trying to keep up appearances in a setting you didn't truly enjoy? Many older adults realize that some relationships drain them rather than replenish them. Becoming more selective doesn't mean you're isolating yourself. It's a sign of wisdom and self-awareness. You understand that your time and energy are valuable, and instead of wasting them on superficial connections, you invest in the people who genuinely enrich your life. And when you start doing this, you'll realize something important. You're not losing anyone who truly matters. You're simply focusing on what brings you real meaning, peace, and happiness in this new chapter of life. Reason 2. Avoiding unnecessary stress and drama. When we were younger, we often tolerated negative conversations, petty conflicts, or even toxic relationships just to keep the peace. But after turning 70, you begin to realize that your patience isn't what it used to be. And frankly, those draining interactions just aren't worth your time anymore. Political arguments, long-standing family tensions, and old grudges that once consumed your thoughts now only leave you exhausted. Some people seem to meet you only to unload their frustrations, vent about their lives, and never ask how you're doing. There are relationships that, instead of leaving you feeling uplifted, only leave you emotionally drained or even irritated. Rather than enduring these energy-draining encounters, many older adults start choosing to protect their own peace instead. Take the story of Linda, 75 years old. For years, she regularly visited certain family members, even though every visit was filled with tension. They complained endlessly about life, engaged in heated debates that never led anywhere, and even dragged her into family conflicts she wanted no part of. But out of a sense of obligation, she endured it. Then one night, after a particularly stressful visit that left her tossing and turning in bed, she had a realization: she didn't have to keep doing this. She started limiting her interactions with those who drained her energy, and instead spent more time with people who made her feel at ease and genuinely happy. The moment she let go of stressful relationships, Linda felt a sense of relief she hadn't known in years. No more exhausting arguments, no more forced conversations filled with negativity, just a life filled with the peace she truly deserved. The biggest lesson here is this: you don't owe anyone your time or energy, especially if it comes at the cost of your own well-being. The people who truly care about you will never leave you feeling drained after every interaction. Choosing to protect your peace isn't selfish, it's an act of self-respect. If you're still watching this video and find these insights valuable, comment 2 below to let me know you're with me on this journey toward a healthier, more vibrant, and more meaningful life. Reason 3. Finding comfort in familiar spaces. There's something strange about our own home. It always feels just right. When we were younger, we loved going out, meeting friends, and exploring new places. But as we age, that excitement gradually gives way to a different kind of longing, the desire to stay in our own space, where everything is familiar and comforting. The thought of getting dressed, driving somewhere far, and trying to engage in conversations in an unfamiliar setting suddenly feels more exhausting than ever. A home is more than just a shelter. It's a place filled with memories, a space where we can truly be ourselves. At home, you can brew a cup of tea, sink into your favorite chair, read a good book, or simply gaze at the garden without feeling pressured to do anything. The quiet of your own home becomes a luxury that no other place can offer. No noisy conversations, no social obligations, no need to put on a facade, just you and the things that bring you joy. This is something Margaret, 78, realized after years of trying to maintain the same social pace she once had. She used to believe that if she didn't visit friends or attend social gatherings, people would think she was lonely or becoming distant. So she made an effort to be present at every tea party, every retirement club meeting. But every time she returned home, she felt drained. The small talk didn't bring real joy, and the long trips only left her exhausted. Over time, she began to wonder if she should keep pushing herself like this. One day, she decided to try something different. Instead of forcing herself to go out of obligation, she invited a few close friends over. A simple afternoon tea in her little garden, a conversation without pressure, without noise, without rush. For the first time in years, she felt the real joy of connection. There was no need to keep up appearances, no lengthy conversations out of politeness. From that day on, she started declining unnecessary invitations and only spent time on things that truly made her happy. Spending more time at home doesn't mean isolating yourself. It means choosing comfort and peace. If you've ever felt exhausted after going out, allow yourself to enjoy your home on your own terms. Because truly, there's no place that offers more serenity than the warmth of your own space. Reason 4. Preferring quality over quantity in social life. When we were young, friendship often felt like a numbers game. The more friends we had, the more exciting life seemed. But as we age, we begin to realize that quality matters far more than quantity. Gone are the days of large gatherings and long lists of people to keep in touch with. Instead, we cherish the relationships that truly hold meaning, where understanding remains strong, even without frequent meetings. There was a time when I tried to maintain connections with everyone I had ever known. I was always the one picking up the phone, sending check-in messages, and arranging meetups to keep friendships alive. I believed that if I didn't make the effort, these relationships would fade, and I would be left feeling lonely. But the more I tried, the more exhausted I became. The conversations felt superficial, the meetings felt obligatory, and many of the people I reached out to never once reached out to me first. One day, after returning from yet another gathering filled with empty small talk and polite exchanges, I sat down and asked myself, what am I really holding on to? A long list of acquaintances who don't genuinely care, or a few true friends who truly understand me? I realized there were people I could go months or even years without seeing, Yet one phone call would bring us back into deep conversation, as if no time had passed. And then there were others, people I saw often, but who never really listened or truly connected with me. That was the moment I decided to shift my focus. Instead of trying to maintain every friendship, I chose to invest in the ones that brought warmth and joy into my life. I spent time with people I could share anything with, friends who didn't need constant interaction to stay close, but who understood me with just a glance or a simple phrase. And strangely enough, when I stopped chasing after shallow relationships, my life felt lighter, fuller, and far more meaningful. I think many of us have been there, clinging to numbers out of fear of loneliness. But the truth is, a few genuine friendships are worth more than a dozen surface-level connections. You don't need a long list of acquaintances. You just need the right ones. So take a moment to ask yourself, who makes you feel warm when you talk to them? Who genuinely cares about you? And most importantly, who makes you feel like your true self? When you find the answer, you'll realize that letting go of unnecessary relationships isn't a loss. It's a way to make space for the ones that truly matter. If you're still watching this video and find these insights valuable, comment 4 below to let me know you're with me on this journey toward a healthier, more vibrant, and more meaningful life. Reason 5. A shift in priorities and personal reflection. As we age, we begin to see life through a different lens. The things that once seemed so important in our younger years no longer hold the same weight. The crowded gatherings, the social events we felt obligated to attend, the relationships we thought we had to maintain, all of these gradually lose their urgency. Instead, we start to spend more time with ourselves, focusing on the things that truly bring us peace and simple joy. I was once like that too. When I was younger, I filled my life with activity. I never missed a gathering, always showed up at events, and made sure to be there for everyone who needed me. I thought that was the key to a meaningful life. But over time I realized that even though my schedule was always full, my soul felt increasingly drained. The small talk left me empty. The long meetings left me exhausted rather than fulfilled. One day, I decided to do things differently. Instead of packing my days with obligations, I allowed myself to slow down. I spent more time reading, taking leisurely walks in my garden, and listening to the music I had loved in my youth. And I realized something. There were so many simple joys I had overlooked because I was too busy chasing the things society expected of me. At first, this shift felt unfamiliar. I worried that if I stopped attending every event, if I reduced my social interactions, I would be forgotten. But the truth was quite the opposite. When I prioritized my own well-being, I found myself feeling happier, more at peace. I cherished the quiet moments, sipping tea in the morning, watching the sunlight filter through my window. I no longer felt pressured to keep up with everyone, to be everywhere, to prove something to anyone. I realized that choosing to focus on what truly brings me joy wasn't selfish. It was self-respect. Perhaps many others have felt the same, holding on to social routines out of fear that slowing down means life will lose its color. But in reality, sometimes slowing down, living more mindfully, and appreciating the little things bring the deepest happiness. There is nothing wrong with prioritizing your own peace. You don't have to chase old expectations or please everyone. Instead, spend your time on what truly matters, on what makes you smile from the heart. Because in the end, real happiness comes not from how many events you attend or how many people you keep in touch with, but from the peace you find within yourself. Reason 6. Recognizing that true friendships don't require frequent visits. As we grow older, we realize that true friendships don't require constant maintenance. The people who truly value you won't disappear just because you don't see them every week or every month. I used to believe that if I didn't actively keep in touch, friendships would fade away. So I made the effort. I called, sent messages, arranged meetups. But then I had a realization. If a relationship only exists because one person is constantly trying to keep it alive, is it really a friendship? I remember an old friend I was once very close to. We used to see each other often, talk about everything. But one day, I decided to step back a little, to stop being the one always reaching out first. And gradually, the conversations became less frequent. Eventually, I realized that if I didn't initiate contact, they never would. And that's when I understood. The friendship I thought we had wasn't as strong as I believed. On the other hand, there are people I haven't seen in months, even years, but when we do reconnect, the conversation flows as if no time has passed. There's no guilt, no complaints about how long it's been, just the simple joy of catching up. Those are the friendships that truly matter. I've learned that friendship isn't about how many times you visit someone or how often you call. It's about mutual understanding and respect. The people who genuinely care about you won't demand constant proof of your affection. They understand that life changes, that everyone has their own time and space, but when it truly matters, they will still be there. If you've ever felt guilty for not seeing someone as often as you think you should, remember, friendship isn't a test you have to keep passing. Sometimes distance doesn't weaken a bond. It reveals who is truly important in your life. Cherish the people who remain, regardless of how often you meet. And take comfort in knowing that if a friendship is real, it will endure no matter how much time passes. As we wrap up this video, take a moment to reflect on the 6 reasons why visiting less often isn't something to feel guilty about. Life changes, our priorities shift, and that's completely normal. You don't need to justify or explain your choices. If staying home, embracing your peace, and prioritizing quality over quantity makes you happy, then that's what truly matters. Real relationships don't require constant appearances. They thrive on genuine connection. Have you experienced this shift in how you maintain relationships? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more meaningful discussions tailored just for you. I'll see you in the next video.